All right. What's up? What's up? Oh, there we go. We switched to webcam. Good morning, everyone. We are live from the Medicare Cafe. The set, yes, you guys. Shh, everyone quiet. I know it's so exciting. But yes, our new set. And by new set, I mean we literally just put panels on the wall.
I slaved all weekend.
Yes.
Hand and foot and mouth and
meticulously cutting out each of these.
What I lack in
them on.
ability to see color, I make up in my ability to perfectly judge distance from one thing to another.
Who needs to see color whenever you are a woodworking genius?
Yeah, wood comes in
That's
one
what
color.
I always say.
Wood color.
That's what that's exactly right. But thank you guys so much for joining us on the Medicare Cafe. We're happy to have you. My name is Sadie, and this is Benjamin.
That is me.
and we're going to be your hosts for today. Olivia is out on vacation. So is Carrie. Carrie and Olivia are both in Hawaii. And Chalin, another co-host of ours, he is going to be... Oh, he's also on vacation.
He is.
Everyone's on vacation except us.
He sent me a picture of the creekside little cabin that they're at, and I was like, I am so jealous.
Yeah.
Just something about a babbling brook.
Sure.
Just is super relaxing
yeah,
to me.
babbling brook. That's right.
Is that no creek?
No,
Babbling
it is. I'm
Creek?
just making fun of you.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
For your poetic talk, guys. Today we're going to be talking about a preview, a look into quarter two. So we're technically on the last week of quarter one, but you know us, we like to be ahead of it. So we're going to be talking about quarter two. All of our different segments today will be geared around that, just so that way we are prepared for that. The text line is me today, so go ahead and text me or write your questions, comments, concerns, threats, promises in the live chat. We love to hear from you guys. But let's see. Oh, dang, I already thought I had text messages. I didn't. You guys talk to me. Text me. Anyway, let's jump into the very first segment, which is Tech Talk.
So, Tech Talk. Specifically CRMs is kind of one of the things that we wanted to talk about. Sadie and I were sitting down and trying to figure out, hey, what exactly does quarter two even look like for an agent or an agency? A lot of the conversations that I'm having with agents and agencies right now is, okay, quarter one was review what happened last year, review how did our AEP go, how did we feel during last year, which was a crazy year, so it's a really good kind of stress point to figure out. And then we were trying to figure out, hey, if quarter one is review, quarter three is prep for quarter four, and quarter four is, well, the Super Bowl. What exactly does quarter two play into the life cycle of an agency?
Yeah, sometimes quarter two feels like, I was telling you this, sometimes quarter two feels like kind of a limbo stage.
100%.
Because it's like, okay, well, what can I be doing now? There's not even like necessarily obvious stepping stones. We don't have the first looks yet, not until like the very end of it. We don't have first looks yet. We don't have, we've kind of wrapped up all the stuff from quarter one.
Yep.
So it's like, what do we kind of do here? And the first step today that we'll be talking about, and we've talked about over the last few weeks, but it's really important that we hit home CRMs and the importance of evaluating yours.
100%. So one of the things that we've mentioned is take the time now to evaluate the efficiency of your CRM. And what do we mean by that? So quarter two, like Sadie was just outlining, was you may not have as much stressful items going on, as many enrollments going on potentially, or at least none that you're trying to back-to-back 15-minute PDP review, 15-minute MA review like it is an AEP. So now is a really good time to figure out, hey, how did our system perform last year? And what things do we need to figure out from those systems moving forward in this next year? So does the CRM that you currently have in place, does it do all you need it to do? Are you able to track client data easily? And a huge question that we had while going that was like, what are some of the pieces that you even want or need to be able to track during this time and from your clientele? I know I've had a couple cases that I can kind of bring up. I didn't know if there are any pieces that you wanted to mention specifically about like what you would think would be good. I know like from my personal experience, average age of your clientele. So many agencies that I'm working with are multi-line, whether it's property and casualty, under 65, life, group, commercial, the whole lines. Trying to figure out exactly what your average age of your clientele is really important because it'll kind of give you a gauge of when do I need to kick on the afterburners of when I'm marketing Medicare.
Right.
Specifically for those who work in the under 65 market, you need to make sure you know the exact point when you can transfer that under 65 client to Medicare and make sure they stay active in your book of business. Another really good question is, how many products do I have per client? I would say that is probably one of the least known numbers in agencies from the conversations that I'm having right now.
Yeah.
Is they just don't know how many products I have with, Bob Jones. Hey, the more you have, we've talked about it on the cafe a number of times, the more clients or the more products you have per client, the stickier that client is, the more income that client is generating, they are much more protected from someone else coming in and trying to scoop them away from you.
Sure.
So if you can't tell me how many products you have with a single client, you need to explore your systems, and you need to explore, is the CRM, the client retention. Actually, I don't know what the M stands for.
It is the client not relationship. Client, oh my gosh.
Client retention manager?
Relationship manager, I think it is.
Oh my gosh, I just felt like I was
No, quite literally. Like, I've done whole
my
webinars over
goodness.
this, and like now I can't think of
client, and just like froze. Oh my goodness,
lols.
that's too funny.
Cheers
Yeah,
to caffeine, my friend. If you are like me and you are someone who, Ben has a very analytical mind. You think in numbers. That's how you think. I am someone who is not like that. It's something that I know I want, but I have not taken a math class since my junior year of high school, and that's on purpose. I was tired of humbling myself every day of my life. But if you are sitting here and you're like, well, I'm not good with that sorts of stuff. I'm not good with organizing all of it. I'm not that, like, that's just not my thing, but I know I need to be tracking that. That's why it's so important to evaluate your CRM. You might have a CRM that you've been using forever, but there could be some out there that make those sorts of things easier for you. So for me, if I was looking for a CRM, I would want something that would make looking at the analytics, being able to pull data super easily, because I don't want to have to go in there and manually do it, simply because like I just don't have the brain that does that. And then also you have to keep in mind that a lot of you guys start hiring that part-time work for AEP in Q3. And if you're going to be hiring part-time work a little bit later, you also have to keep in mind everybody else that's going to be using your CRM. So if you are going to be hiring a little bit later, your CRM has to be something that is easy for people to pick up, because it's very important the information that you put in there is accurate, and the usability of it is super important if you have that part-time work. So that's another thing to keep in mind.
A really good point that I hadn't really even thought about. So thank you for bringing that up, Sadie. I think right now we talk about reviewing Q1. Q2 is also a really big time that you're bringing in any additional administrative staff members, maybe new additional downlines to your agency. If you grew a lot last year and are trying to keep that pace moving forward, Q2, looking at your systems from a different filter is really important. Hey, I know I've done this for 15 years. I know how this system works. Well, that doesn't help someone at all if it's someone brand new. My dad is a veterinarian in the St. Louis area, and for the longest time, he had the old pressure, like ink transfer was how he took credit cards. Like he would lay it down on a metal machine and run a roller over it, and it would pressure imprint transfer the numbers for credit cards.
It's giving like 1800s newsboy, like
extract.
Yeah, like a printing press. What in the world?
For the longest time, it's probably within the last 4 years that my dad has shifted to tap, swipe, chip.
Our Gen Z is showing. We're like, what?
Yeah, it's
I thought those didn't exist since we were riding horses to school.
I like uncovered it one day, like blew the dust off of it. I thought it was a relic from the old world. Was like, what is this, father? Like,
have you gone antiquing?
was just having a blast, and it just is so funny because he was like, well, this is how we've always done it. And I was like, Dad, you have clients coming in trying to pay with their phone. You can't slam their phone through the transfer weight. That'll just break. So I think that's really interesting to make sure you're stepping away. Part of being an agency owner is being able to step away from how you've been doing things and what's best for your business moving forward, and making sure that that applies.
Also, 2 more points before we move on, because I know we're hitting this pretty hard. Yeah. One thing I want to say is this year you might be seeing a lot of switching over, specifically if your Medicare supplement clients are like, I'm getting out of here, I'm going to MA. It's super important to have the data on that, and very accessible in your CRM. So keep that in mind. You might be doing a lot of switching this year. And then number 2, if this intimidates you to switch all of your stuff over CRMs, yes, it can be. That's why we're saying do it now. Yeah. So that way you're giving yourself plenty of time before Q4, before the end of Q3, whenever you're collecting all of the stuff and blah, 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 blah. It's easy. You've got it. You've been using it for months. understand. If you ever have any questions, of course, you can always give us a call.
Yeah, your upline should for sure be helping you with that type of transition. Mary, I saw your question. So will Medicare Center ever link to Medicare supplement plans? That is the end goal, yes. Will that happen this year? I don't know. I'll hand on Bible. I have no idea. I know they are hoping to make improvements on the CRM front of Medicare Center. Last year was very focused on enrollment and quoting. This year, they feel very confident that they've ironed out a lot of those bumps. And so they're shifting some focus towards making sure that it's a tool that is fully rounded out to help an agent and agency moving forward. So the end goal, yes, is to link Medicare supplement plans, Advantage plans, prescription drug plans, and I believe ancillary plans as well. So it should hit kind of all kind of the different product types.
Yeah, TBD on that, but that's a really good question and a question we've all been asking for a long time. True. So super fair.
The last thing I wanted to mention was just 2 CRMs. If you are shopping around for CRMs right now, would be the 2 that I'm hearing most commonly are Agency Block.
Classic.
Long time name in the space. And then the second one is actually a kind of an up and coming star would be Medicare Pro. Those are the 2 that I'm hearing used most commonly by both individual agents and agencies. Medicare Pro seems to be offer 98% of the same features that Agency Block does, but at like half to third of the price. So if cost is an issue right now, also another part to that, because this is just a question that keeps adding tree branches, is make sure if you have other platforms that integrate with your CRM that they continue to integrate. So someone that I work with mentions that they are switching phone systems to automatically tie recordings to client profiles. So making sure that CRM works with that new phone system. If you have quoting and enrollment software, all these different type of kind of plug and play switches that you may have in place, make sure they are compatible with whatever new CRM you guys might be using moving forward.
Cool. The question of the week. This is something we've been getting a lot from people. It's a question we have had. What is the deal? What the heck is up with the FEMA SEP? And short answer, it's back, baby.
Yeah, and honestly, that may classify as the long answer too, because at the end of the day,
that's true.
It's kind of, they're just viewing it as the memo that came out, I think it was in December, that was outlining that, hey, CMS is going to say that this SEP is changing to where the only way the beneficiary gets access to this election period is if they go direct to Medicare, which is similar to how if the client feels as they were wronged by someone, they can always go in and make a complaint that they can go direct to Medicare for that. They were basically applying the same rule set to the FEMA SEP. However, last week, middle of the week, I think it was, somewhere right around there, CMS has decided to pull back that part of the memo and say, hey, from this point forward, April 1st will come and go, and the SEP will still be allowed to be used, which is really good for us Missouri folks, central United States, southeastern, southeast. That's how you do cardinal directions. Southeast part of the United States, with a lot of the weather that's happened over the past couple weeks. That's really good because they're going to need people, agents, to help them through some of these changes.
This is like a classic example of just like how this whole industry works, where they're like, hey, we're going to take this away because you guys are abusing it.
Yeah.
And then a majority of our country gets absolutely dominated by natural disasters. And then they go, oops.
Wait a second.
Actually, we do need those. So let's bring them back.
We were going to take all of it. So.
Yes. So it is back. As far as we know, it works exactly the same way that it used to. You have the memo here.
Yep.
It's just back.
Exactly. So as of March 20th, the CMS released a memo that outlined that they are pulling the part of the statement that they had provided previously that was going to mitigate April 1st as the effective date when that SEP would have to be beneficiary direct to Medicare only. And from this point forward, they've decided to pull that back. I will add this caveat, and if we know anything about this industry, that it's ever changing. I would not be surprised if this rule gets reintroduced or re-brought up during the final rule in additional memos in the future, I think there is a lot to be uncovered specifically with that SCP, since it is many times taken advantage of. Now, for the agents that I know we work with, we use it as a last case resort, as a, hey, we need to get someone on this, that maybe they have access to this. But there are many agents that don't do that. So first and foremost, make sure you're using this SCP correctly. That way we can keep it around.
True.
I know it does help a lot of people,
Yeah.
so make sure you are
We
using
have
this.
lessons to learn here
Yeah,
too.
it's not just,
We were putting time out there for a
CMS.
little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's a great wake-up call. Like, Papa CMS came in and said, hey, I'm taking this away. And we've been granted an opportunity to show, hey, us as agents aren't going to abuse this SCP. We're using it to help people. And that's why it needs to not only stay accessible to agents, but it'll further drive home the importance of an agent relationship with your clients moving forward as well.
Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, so I know that it is effective April 1st, but I'm assuming they're not going to backdate anything. So anything that's happened. Okay, just wanted to make sure. I
No.
assume that's how that worked, but
Really
I just
good
wanted to make
question.
sure.
Yeah.
Just because we have had a lot of things
Yeah.
happening.
Agents have been using that kind of SCP, maybe even more so since they thought it was going to go away. They were looking at it as another option. So basically, it was set to terminate the end of March, and then as of April 1st, it wouldn't be able to be used unless it was direct to Medicare.
Yeah.
However, that's just not going to be the case anymore. So just remove that deadline, and it'll continue forward. But again, the caveat, it will likely be brought up again. So just keep your eye on it, and obviously, as we hear stuff, we'll make sure that's available and known to you guys as well.
Yeah. All right. And then our last segment is going to be tip of the week. And our tip, again, you guys are probably seeing a lot of themes that we've been talking about through quarter one that are going to bleed into quarter two. Tip of the week is connect with your networking partners.
Yeah.
Now, this is going to be people who you can have a professional relationship with in order to just connect with. It doesn't have to just be for leads. Of course, that's like best case scenario.
Right.
I refer some people to you. You refer some people to me. Of course, that's important. But then it's also nice to just connect. So that way you're able to connect with other professional partners. That way you're just able to be more involved in your community relationally, professionally, relationally.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Scientifically.
Yeah. You guys, it's scientifically. But yes, there's a lot of different reasons why networking partners are that we've hit on. We won't today, but this is a time to connect with your old networking partners, people you already have an established relationship with, and then this is also a good time to start connecting with new people as well.
Yeah. I think one question you can take either to an old or a new referring partner too is asking, hey, have there been any recent acquisitions or new clients that you guys have brought in that you feel as though my service would help aid in your guys' relationship? Throughout all of this, we've always acted as an extension of our referral partner. So if I'm working with a bank, I'm coming in on behalf of the bank to showcase that it's a value add of working with that bank, and then I get the business as an agent. So continue to do so. Hey, I know we've been long-lasting partners over the last couple of years. We've worked with many cases. Did you have any new clients that you brought on this past year that maybe I could set up a one-on-one for just that group and explain Medicare, do a presentation, do an event for just that group to maybe tip that favor in your guys' kind of side, and add as a value add of your partnership. So I think that's a really important question. I think we've talked about evaluating CRMs, but you need to evaluate your referral partners too. There is something to be said about having a referral partner that is really good just to have presence in the community and making sure you're taking care, so making sure you have that type of slot filled. But it's okay to reevaluate your time. Your guys' time is going to be super important this year.
That time is super valuable always, but yeah, specifically this year.
Yeah.
Just like last year, yeah. Another thing that you can keep in mind is networking partners aren't just people in other industries. It's really, really beneficial, and we see it every day here with our agents, connecting with other agents. Now, of course, it won't be a referral sort of situation. Perhaps it is if one of you kind of niches in something, or like not niches, niches is not a verb. Is not, but yeah, grammar. But connecting with other agents is able. Sorry, I had to reboot there.
The amount of times I do that, I'm just like,
I'm like, oh wait, we're live. People are actually listening to me.
it's not a recording.
You know, on Max, that little like color wheel that like spins.
Yeah.
That was my head.
I do that. I do that.
Connecting with other agents is so beneficial to you. Of course, like I said, like it won't necessarily be like a referral situation, but it is like connecting in a way that's like, this is what I'm going through. Is this what you're going through? We actually have a pair of agents that are in office today that were just really good buddies in the industry for a long time. And it's so cool to see how their relationship has benefited each other's, like their agencies, because they have someone in the business that they can lean on. They have someone in the business that they can talk to about these sorts of things. Yeah. That's so important too, especially like establishing that now and having a friend in the industry, I think is something that agents, you don't have to view everybody as competition.
100%.
I don't know what else to say to that.
No, I mean, bam, stamp. Like the competition is not the agent down the street. There is a huge silver tsunami. We are to the point of the highest amount of agent or clients are turning 65 over the next couple of years. So like the competition is not the agent down the street. It's the people that are using these SCPs incorrectly. It's the people that are putting a bad filter or bad tint on the agent and its relationship with its beneficiaries and how they're helping. So have friends. Yeah, friends in the industry is super important. I have like another example where an agency was struggling with trying to figure out how to pay the people that they were bringing in. They were really good at finding the right person to fit the job, but were continuously kind of losing them because they didn't feel like they were coming in competitive enough to maybe some other options. And then I had another agent literally hundreds of miles away that was having trouble finding the right fit personality-wise for the agency, but kept bringing in new people because their compensation or their benefit package or anything like that was super competitive towards the space. And I was like, hey, so like you guys are just both sides of the coin. Here's each other's contact information, and like having that friend in the industry is super beneficial.
And right now, I know that like now and then kind of upcoming, there are a lot of conferences. There's a lot of like events going on in the industry in which you might be traveling to go to, these different breakouts and stuff like that. That's a really great way to also meet friends in the industry, people from other states, people from other parts of the states, because sometimes it does feel a little, especially if you're like in a smaller area or something, you might be like, cool, I get it. I still see the person down the street as my competition. That's okay. Yeah. But going to these conferences and stuff like that, join Facebook groups, join the cafe Facebook group, connect with other agents as well as your other networking partners, because that can be really beneficial to have someone kind of in the trenches with you as well.
I think, there's a lot to be said. I mean, speaking of kind of events and all these other types of stuff, if you're going to be at Medicarians next week, I believe it is, in Vegas.
Yes, it is.
Please let either a member of us know, because we have some representation that will be at Medicarians. Our very own Shaylin Jackson will actually be speaking, is my understanding.
Yes, that's right. Him and Olivia will both be there. And in fact, if everything goes right, they'll be live on Medicare Cafe next week from Medicarians. Yeah, that's new. You were out. We decided that if everything goes smoothly, we're planning on being live from Medicarians next week with Shaylin and Olivia. So definitely tune into that.
That's super cool.
Next week if you want to hear from them, which I know you guys do.
Yeah. Mary mentioned here, fraud, waste, and abuse needs to be managed at the government and agency and agent level. Very true. I actually had an agent bring that up, talking about fraud, waste, and abuse. There's a couple of other different, I mean, it's another good shout out that we didn't think about that's just now coming to my brain, because that's how my brain works. Continuing education credits and state licenses Q2 would be a really good time to recheck in and make sure those aren't set to expire during a busier time of the year.
True.
Now's a really good time to go ahead and take care of those continuing education classes. That way, when certifications come around, you only have to focus on that, not that
true.
in addition to continuing education classes. So lots of things that just because there may not seem to be a super easy enrollment opportunity does not mean that there's not plenty of things that an agent or agency can still be taken care of in order to free up future. Hey,
That's exactly right.
I live off the mantra that, like, if present me can make future me happy, do it.
Woo.
And then I can thank past me in the future. That was
Love.
a whole timeline of things.
Anyway, guys, our Facebook page, our Facebook group, we have a page, but then we also have a group. Please join us, Medicare Cafe group. This is a place in which you can meet other agents, talk to other agents, bounce ideas off. It is a closed group. But yeah, join us there. We love to chat with you guys whenever we have any specific updates that we feel like we need to let you guys know about, not just about Cafe, but about the industry too. We like to pop in there. And hopefully we'll have a little bit more engagement from our end this year. So definitely join the group, and of course, like our page as well. That's just going to be like a general Cafe thing. So that way your other agent friends that you're already friends with on Facebook, they are able to connect to the Medicare Cafe too.
Yeah. I think the certifications will be big. I think every single year, Clayton and I try to do as good of a job as possible about letting the agents know when the testing goes live.
Yeah.
The Cafe group is one of the best spots to kind of get that information.
True.
Cool.
Okay, guys.
Any
Cool.
text messages that may have came in?
No, we did get a couple text messages from Madison, but it's just, girls being girls. You guys don't need to know. No, I'm just kidding. She did let us know that it is customer relationship management. So bless. That's our team leader.
I could not do my job without her, so greatly appreciated.
Cool, guys. Thanks so much for joining us today. Definitely tune in next week, live from Medicarians.
I'll be there.
But until then, you will?
No, not a Medicarians in the chat.
Oh, I was like, oh my gosh, fun.
Yeah, just developing news. Since you're going to drop something on me,
I will
I'm going
also
to
be
Vegas.
there.
So let me know specifically. That way we can hang out
He
without
crashes
Sadie.
the show. Crazy.
And have my own live stream and pop up in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love. I support.
Awesome.
Anyway.